I'd like to welcome everyone to the next episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Camera and spin. About 15 seconds. Jordan, you gotta be open. Camera as well. 3, 2, 1. Clear.
Like our title is Cue It Up. We're queuing it up for ourselves, but also for the venue, for the photographer, for the videographer, anybody that's involved with the event. We're queuing everything up. Everybody comes back to us for the queue up.
Okay, guys, ready? Bye. We are ready.
Okay, what's up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast. And look who we have in the building tonight.
Roll forward. Ready? Cars and tone. Take cars and tone.
DJ tips and tricks, right? Cool. So got that. Do the tips and tricks. Come out. Screen sharing.
15. Okay. Ready, slate, and lose tone.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
No, didn't hear the introduction at all. That's why I was going like that. And I sing William Box too.
Take luck. Ready? Full screen graphic and fade up.
Well, we all come together as DJs. No matter what skill level you're at, we come here to connect, learn, and grow. And from pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community.
Great show.
So with that said, let's cue it up again and start the show. Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song, get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But it's DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm djmikiemike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the HitmanDDub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another DJ podcast called the Cue It Up DJ Podcast with me, the HitmanDDub, and my friend djmikiemike. And
Hello, everybody.
And this is the place where we come to, from pro tips to real talk. We're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. Man, I had a busy week. I didn't think I was going to make it. Because today is like, after I did the gig Saturday, it's like my mind and my body has just been all over the place. It's hard for me to focus.
I hear you. I got a surprise inbox last night from the one venue I DJ at all the time, and the owner, it's her 60th birthday party, so her daughters are throwing her a birthday party, and they're having a band for her called Cartoon. And here, the owner says, asked me, well, didn't say, but asked me if I could open up for the band. I'm like, oh, definitely. So I'm putting all different kind of music together. She's a big Bon Jovi fan, so be playing a lot of Bon Jovi for her.
Right, cool. And last week, we had our guest DJ Crossfire, and we were talking about the differences between the UK DJs and the US DJs. And so here are the 3 takeaways from that show. The first one was different cultures, same mission. Move the crowd. That is our main goal as DJs, period. While the US and UK DJs are different in musical preferences and the way that we DJ our sets, we both share one universal goal, and that is to connect with the audience and keep the dance floor alive. And number 2, club and event structures influence our DJ styles. What we found out was that the US DJs seem to like quick mixing, whereas the UK DJs like taking their time and building a set, telling a story through music. And then also the third takeaway would be respect the roots, but don't box yourself in. Meaning we all have our different styles and a different way and a different approach of the way that we DJ. And just because we're used to DJing one style, we can still learn from each other. And so that was the big takeaway, that even though we're different, we all have the same goal, and we can also learn. And if we incorporate each other's style, we can make sure that's like what Buddy says every week, put us in a place where we stand out from the rest of the DJs, whether you're across the seas or in the US. But tonight we're going to talk about DJing like festivals or carnivals, or like an outside event where you're dealing with people in general, where there's not a set, I guess you could say, playlist. You playing to make everyone happy, where you got to make sure it's worse than a school event, because a school event, everything has to be clean, but with the school is still like a certain genre that they like, whereas when you do like a amusement park type of gig or in the store, that doesn't necessarily go with, with that event. You got to be able to be an open format DJ. So today's event, or today's show, is called Shelby Bicycle Days, all day, all play, DJing for a festival or carnival. So how was because did you have a gig this past week?
I had a great graduation party. The only thing is the heat, the humidity was killer. And it was in an old country barn, an old hay barn. And I forgot how these old hay barns retain the heat. Thank God I had 3 fans with me, keeping me cool and keeping my equipment cool. But once the gig was over and I had to shut the fans off, it was just boom, like you walked into a wall. Actually, I don't know how the people were dancing because of the heat and the humidity. I thought, being where I was going to be out in the country, less pavement, more fields, more greenery, the humidity would be cut down, the heat would be a little bit lower. But much to my surprise, it wasn't. I was a sweating. I could say that. But it was a great party. Great young lady. She's going to go to college. I know I worked with her dad when I worked at House of Paperback, and I'm so proud of her. I've known her since she was a little girl. So basically, I seen her grow up, and what a wonderful young lady.
Okay. Well, this weekend I did the fireworks show for Kevin, and this weekend in Cleveland they said it didn't rain or anything in Cleveland. It was sunny and everything. But once you got down close to Columbus, the drive wasn't too bad. It was about an hour and 31 minutes or so. So basically, I can just put on and listen to the latest episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast, knowing that I can play that, pulling out my driveway, and once I get to the end of the show, I'll be at my event. So that helped out.
You didn't hear no snoring, did you?
No, nope. But what I liked about this one was that where they had me set up, I could park right there. So it wasn't like I had to go a long distance to set up. But the tricky part was when we initially talked to them, we talked to them about having a tent for me, because where they had planned on me being at first originally was out in the open. So I asked for a tent. So they said they'll provide that. But then at the last minute, if you could see on the screen, they had like this pavilion kind of thing, and that's where they was going to put me. And so they said that I didn't need a tent. But looking at the weather, I did check the weather before I left, and being that it was sprinkling, and then it had the same kind of sprinkling kind of effect on Friday, I since I didn't have a lot to put in my car, I put my tent in the car anyway, and I'm glad I did, because if not, there's no way I could have fit under the little pavilion, because they had acts going on during the day, so we would have been fighting for space, and we would have been in each other's way. Not to mention, of course, when it's sprinkled, where do everybody want to go? They don't want to sit out in the open. They want to kind of like come under the pavilion. So it would have been like, it wouldn't have been a good spot. So they had me set up on the side, and I had my tent, and then I definitely bought plastic bags. And that's the only thing. It's a good thing that the plastic bags could cover the speakers, but the bad thing is that you still got to try to set up without getting everything wet, because no sooner than you open up your cases and stuff, rain is coming through. So it's like battling the rain and trying to keep everything dry under the tent while I set everything up was a hassle. So that's why you didn't see good cable management in my videos, because the other thing was I DJ it was supposed to be from 4 to 7:30. Then I would have to break down, and there's a football field like 100 yards away that I would have to break down and then set up for the fireworks display. So therefore, I had to basically throw everything up. But then at the time that I came just when the parade was done. And so therefore, I had to also fight not the raindrops, but also the people, going through people trying to set up and then not being everybody's way. So that was kind of tricky too. But I managed to make it happen. So I just bought something simple, my Rev 1 controller, a wired mic so I can make the announcements, and then the wired mic for the person to sing the national anthem at the fireworks display. But when I got there, it was just hard for me to focus. They said they enjoyed the music, but I guess I was more so worried about the speakers not messing up in the rain, and then making sure it's loud enough, because that was the issue. So I ended up using 4 EV ELX 200s, and then trying to point them a certain way to make sure the sound, I got more of a circular sound, so the sound would be more spread out. And they said they heard it a block away, so I guess it was okay. Because once I got everything set up, I really couldn't go out like I wanted to. Because as soon as they heard music, then that's when someone came and requested a song. And then as soon as they heard their song, I guess they told their friends. And then that's when I was constantly getting people asking for song requests. So good thing I had a clipboard to have them write it down, because I didn't understand a word they were saying with those speakers, because everything was so loud.
Yes. Outdoor events they can be great, but weather is so unpredictable.
then you don't want to be stuck out in the sun all afternoon or having the sun hit a certain part of your body and like the sun go to your back, and next thing you know, you come home from DJing and give a almost a second-degree burn on your neck from the sun hitting you. You know.
Yep. And also another thing that I'm glad I had purchased was one of those extension cords. But the extension cords, I think there's like 12 outlets. So it's like an extension cord, and every so many inches, there's a 3-prong plug. So you can just plug things in. So I just ran that outside the perimeter of the tent. So therefore, I was able to put the plug in the speakers that are facing at different spots, because that would have been tricky if I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So between that and then also preparing for the gig, I wouldn't say was tricky, because I tried to pick songs that I thought I would hear at an amusement park, like Kings Island or Cedar Point. Try to do the mainstream poppy song and a little bit of everything, like your throwback rock songs, your 80s songs, and try to steer away from any kind of rap or hip hop. Even though I did play one, because they really wanted to do it, and it was a dance song. But one thing I wish I did that I'm going to definitely do for this gig Saturday, I didn't listen to the songs and tag my songs. So I had a bunch of songs, because I used the thing that I showed everyone in episode 3 or 4, with the algorithm and the playlist miner and all that to get a playlist. And I normally tag my songs and usually put stars next to them. So I know, because I like to DJ like with a flow. I know with 1 stars, it's usually like a introduction kind of something I play at the beginning of a set and then build up, and then my 5 stars would be my bangers and go up and down. But I thought, because I kind of like listened to him and didn't tag him, I thought I would remember once I got to the gig, and of course I didn't remember. So I was just pulling songs out. But I'm glad they still liked it. But I wish I had tagged them right, so I could have felt like a flow going to it.
You were like a magician pulling the rabbit out of the hat.
Mm-hmm. But good thing I had good mixing technique. I could mix in and mix out. But one thing I could say about Chat GPT, I did have it. I took the playlist that I was going to use with a bunch of songs and ran it through Chat GPT to have it kind of like map out my set. How to build for this first hour, this second, to build small sets. I would say it worked, but I don't like doing that. I like to listen to the song and know for a fact without going off a whim.
Yep, I agree with you there 1,000%.
Yep. So Saturday. So tomorrow for Saturday, since it's mainly a lot of gospel and gospel hip hop songs, I kind of like having downloaded a bunch of, I wouldn't say gospel songs or Christian songs, since it's been months. So I got a bunch. I narrowed it down to 221 using, picking only the top danceable songs and all that stuff. It's just now I just need to listen to it and color code it so I can know when to play it and, a reason behind playing it, so I can be more connected with what I'm playing instead of just guessing and playing something. But another thing I'm glad I did, Kevin kind of like warned me. After the fireworks, they turn the lights on for a short period of time so everyone can gather their things and leave, but then the lights get turned off and you still packing. So I'm glad he warned me of that, because I threw in my Rockville's RF1s, the battery operated ones, to use that to help me be able to see through the dark. And then I still bought my generator, just in case something went wrong when I got down to the football field, I still would have power. So it's also have a light in the front, so that I was able to use that as well. So have you did any like outdoor events like?
Well, talking about your event, I do a lot of graduation parties. Most of them are outdoors. There's very few that are indoors. They're basically at pavilions. The one pavilion that I DJ at a lot is the Polish American Veterans Association, which is right down the street from my house, a little over a quarter mile away. It's a beautiful, beautiful pavilion, beautiful land. They have horseshoe pits there. You can, I call it beanbag toss, whatever whatever the name
That
is
corn,
now,
corn toss or something,
cornhole or
cornhole,
whatever.
yeah.
To me, it's still beanbag. But the position where I have to set up in after 5 o'clock, I am just getting killed with the sun, and it kills me. But also, I also do Plains National Night Out, which will be this Tuesday. It's every community has it right through the whole nation.
Hmm.
It's for the cops. Do you have it out there too, Dwayne?
I know it's called FOP, the Federal Order of Policemen. They usually have something, and PAL
Okay.
they usually have like the police athletic league. They'll have like events going on to raise money and stuff too.
Yes. Well, what we do is I do 40 minutes, and then my friend and his wife, they have a duo group together. They'll do 40 minutes, then I'll do another 40. And what we try to do is if they're starting off the night, they'll end on a song, say if it's like a dance song, I'll pick up from there. They're finishing off with a country song, then I'll pick up a country, play a couple country songs, and then go over to whatever I could play because there's kids, there's adults, there's, I mean, from infants to 90-year-olds. And my area here where I live is Polish, Lithuanian, Slovak, German. So I try to keep even throwing a couple of those songs in because once they hear that, they're like, oh, you got the older generation, they're doing a polka together. And it's nice. It's for the whole community of Plains Township. And it is, everything is put on by Plains Township. They have free pizza, free hamburgers, free hot dogs, free soda, free water. There are a few people that come back and take advantage of it, and then cops step in and say, "Hey, listen, that's like your ninth or tenth soda, so or ninth or tenth water or whatever, and that might be your sixth piece of pizza already. So you gotta save for other people." But the crowd is basically nice, and the one emphasis I want to say last year we had a chance of rain. So what they did is they allowed us to plan at the pavilion, which was great. It was so nice, and the acoustics. It seemed like it reached out to more people. Then at the end of the night, like you stated at your gig at the fireworks display or fireworks show, how they shut the lights off on you. They do the same. It's not the township police or the firemen or the ambulance crew. It's the gentleman who runs the pavilion for the township. Now he knows this is going on. He knows that people have to leave. Um, are that the senior citizen community here? They have like a group, and they bring out all these. They make afghans. They make quilts. They you name it. They have all the stuff so you could chance off. So by the time they chance everything off, by the time that people pick up the gifts that they won, then they have to clean up their area. And this guy comes up and he just boom, out go the lights. And these poor elderly people are like, where do we go?
Mm-hmm.
And same with me and same with the duo. Poof, out go the lights. The nice thing is with the duo, Mark, he's the fire chief.
Mm-hmm.
So he has all the fire trucks lined up right before the end of the show. and he knows that the lights are going to go off. So bam, he has them all turn their floodlights on like that on the side of the trucks.
Hmm.
So it's like daylight again for us, you know. But yeah, that's again like most of my gigs for graduation parties are outdoors. Um, the Plains Night Out is for out. It's an outdoor event, and off and on, I will pick up maybe a benefit, maybe for cancer or whatever. That may be an outdoor event because today a lot of the venues don't want to take up their space because they think, okay, we could have a wedding, we could have a whatever type of event in our place. So most of these people are reaching out to pavilions and stuff like that. It is cheaper for them in one aspect, but again, it's a chance. You could have a hot, humid day. You could have a stormy, rainy day. I'll give you one example. The Polish American Veterans Club, I did a graduation party, and it rained so bad. I had two 40-foot tarps, and they were 20 feet high. We secured them to the main beam going around. The wind got so bad, so they had their picnic tables were so heavy, it was unreal. Put them on top of the tarp, figuring that'll hold it down.
Hmm.
Nope, the wind blew, took it right off underneath the tarp, took it right off from underneath the picnic table. Like, well, the next best thing is I'm going to park my vehicle on top of the tarp. Guess what happened? The wind came. I don't know how it did it. Didn't rip the tarp, but it just pulled it right out from underneath the tires. I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. So
It's almost like when they do that trick where they have all the dishes on the table and you take
exactly.
the cloth and you like yank it.
Yeah, exactly. It was the weather was so horrendous that the wind, the rain, there was nothing you could do to get away from it.
Mm. All right, but but I'm glad after doing all that, I got my 5-star review. And
Beautiful.
and they asked me if I'll be available next year. So that was a learning experience. So from now until then, I'll be working on at least getting another set of speakers. Because I rented from my friend, which I had those speakers, but then I rented from Guitar Center. So with Guitar Center, you gotta pay a day. So in order to not have to pay that extra day, because we wasn't sure if they want if the Shelby Bicycle organization was going to pick up the tab. So they picked up the 1-day tab. I didn't want to push it with the 2-day tab. So
No.
yeah, that's the only bad thing. I had to go and get it the day of, which I thought wouldn't be a problem because going to Guitar Center is right next to the highway. So just get the speakers, and then I reserved them like a couple of weeks ahead of time. So the speakers were there, but the problem was when I went in, it seemed like everybody was there to get speakers or was having issues with something they bought. So what should have been only a few minutes ended up being a half an hour. So I'm kind of glad that I left in enough time, but at the same time it worked out because if I had to pick the speakers up and then jumped on the highway, I would have ran into the parade. So therefore I would have had to sit and wait till the parade was done before I would be able to get down to where I needed to go. So I ended up coming. Yeah. So when I came
It was
in,
a blessing.
yep.
It was a blessing in disguise then.
Yep, because as soon as I turned the corner and saw where I was supposed to go, I saw people walking back like the parade had just stopped and they had just opened the road up. So that was good timing.
Yes, yes. Like I said, outdoor events are great. I'm glad you got your 5-star review. You said you learned a lot from doing this event. Now, what I do in my contract, if it's a specific outdoor event, like say it might be a pavilion for a graduation party, and sometimes they don't want you underneath the pavilion. So in my contract, it states that they must provide a tent for me, and it can't be one of those little pop-up tents that you take to the beach or anything. It has to be a nice, 12 by 12 tent. I won't go for a 10 by 10. It has to be 12 by 12. And if they don't want to supply it, I'll bring mine. But now it's an extra $250 they have to pay for me to bring my tent.
Hmm.
I'm going to charge them for it.
Yeah,
Um,
because that's what we did originally, but she changed it. But then at the same time, I got this from Kevin. So it's one of those gigs, just like when you got it from Tyler, whatever.
Yes.
You know, they do all the backwards and forth. You're the one that gets it at the end. So those are some of the things that you didn't get a chance to, talk about because you wasn't in on the meeting. You got it after the fact. So
It's like when you go fishing, you caught a fish this big, you tell your buddy, and that buddy tells another buddy, and next thing you know, when that story gets back to you, that fish went from a 4-inch fish to a 22-inch fish.
mhm.
It's hard when you pick up a gig from somebody, and yeah, they're supplying you all the information. It's nice if they have email correspondence or even text message correspondence. This way, you can have them send it to you exactly what was said or what they have written down or typed down. This way, you have an exact, duplicate of what the venue said and what the DJ said back to them. So it's easier that way. You're not second guessing, or you're whoever the DJ was is giving you the information. Did he make a mistake? Didn't he make a mistake? Then he calls you up at last minute. Oh, geez, I forgot to tell you. You got to bring your tent with you. You're like, well, okay. I have it up in my yard now. I got to take the tent down. It's better to talk one on one with the venue or whoever's having the party, but sometimes you can't. It's just unfortunate. Like I say, what Tyler gave me that wedding, that was it, it was it was unbelievable. I got a 5-star review out of it,
Mhm.
which I was so happy, so
Yeah.
happy.
It's just that in those instances, it's just like one of those things where you're not negotiating, so therefore, you do, it's different when you're there at the table and planning. So,
Mhm.
but hopefully we'll be able to get together, and now that we got each other's information to like plan, see what worked, what didn't, and to make it better.
Yes, yes. What you want to do is you want to build on what you started off from this year
Hmm.
and build it up to be better next year. Um, One thing with an outdoor event, also, I just want to throw this out there. I know, okay, you say you rent the speakers this year and probably gonna get more next year. It's so hard with an outdoor event. I don't care how many speakers you have. There's there's gonna be a crowd of people here, a crowd of people there, a crowd of people back there. Um, you just try to cover areas, and you want to be loud up front, and as long as they can hear the music down the back, you see their heads bobbing, you know they're having a good time. You know they're listening to the music. People, I see DJs bringing multiple subs with them to the outdoor venue, and it's like, why are you doing this?
Mhm.
It's not. This ain't gonna help because you're playing. There's no place for that sub to push that music. It's just pushing the air out, and that's it. It just keeps flowing. At least inside of a venue, it's pushing it out, but it's hitting a wall and it's bringing it back towards you. And when you're outside, it's a totally different monster, if you want to say.
Yeah. So I'm gonna assume they heard the music or heard sound from my speakers because when I made the announcement, I heard them cheer. So I was like, okay, they heard it. But then
There you go.
I finally found a YouTube video from the fireworks, and of course, when the fireworks exploded, you didn't really hear the music, but in between, you heard the music. So, and this person wasn't by me, so I guess it was good enough. But
That's great.
oh yeah, and I also my Rockville hydraulic speaker came in, my replacement one.
Beautiful. I love mine. I have them.
Mm.
They're probably one of the best investments I've ever made.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what I was saying. Because when I was at the thing, at the not the thing, the event, when I was at the event, because I got to remember that our audience. That's the one bad thing about when we talk. It's like we're talking, and we're talking as if the people that's listening to our show knows. But at the event, I didn't realize I had my the knob tight, so that the pole wouldn't move, because with the hydraulics, if you accidentally hit that little latch and it shoots up, if you don't have a speaker on top, it's hard to put all your weight down and try to push it back down. And
there's done that.
Yeah, so I forgot I had it tight, and when I was pressing, because I was rushing, and it was raining, when I was pressing down on it, I split the lever. So that instead of the lever going like this, it went like this.
Oh.
And I mean, that was a pain in the behind trying to get the speakers up with the rain coming down and the pole being slick, because I also bought my extra poles. So I had to use the other ones where I had to hold the speaker up and then put the little pin in. And I don't know how many times I had hit my head with that speaker, speaker sliding down and like knocking me in the head. But I really enjoyed the Rockvilles, because the one that I didn't break, only thing I had to do is the way the EVs is made, it has the handle on the top and a handle on the bottom. I just hold the handle on the bottom, hit that switch, and let it pop, 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 and let go. And that was it. It only took a couple of seconds. So I'm glad I got a new speaker, even though I kind of like hacked the way to do the levers, but I don't feel comfortable with it, a speaker being high, then all of a sudden either the latch the latch either let go and now your speaker goes flying up, and when it flies up, it's gonna the stand's gonna bounce, and then there goes your speaker, or not having it in, and then you have a speaker on top, and now the speaker's coming down on you. So
if I'm correct, Brian Esra did a video about putting speakers on a stand, and he's disabled and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He only has the use of one arm. What he would do is lay the speaker stand down, have the legs spread out, slide, have the speaker there, slide the pole into the speaker hole, and then lift the speaker up, and it's already standing. This way you don't have to be trying to balance it and try to tighten the knob up, like you were saying, you're hitting your head, and this way it just, you tighten it, you push it up, and you're there, you're set, you're good.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I know we were chatting, me and you, and you said you had those speakers up nice and high.
Yep.
For this event. The higher you go, the better off you are, and not just for yourself, but for your guest, because you're above their weakest point of their body, their eardrums, because they can walk on by you, and if you only have the speakers up 5.5 feet up off the ground, they're walking, and the speakers right here. So this way you have it up above. I'm 6'3", my son sets it up it's above my head, and it's like right down on his head. So those speakers are up like 6'4", and there's not too many people that are 6'4" that come to weddings and stuff like that. You might have a few, but they're far few in between, but they know to stay away from the speaker, so which is good. But the shorter people, they can walk right by it, and they may still go like this, but still you're not hitting them with the direct sound right in the ear.
Yeah. But the one thing that I still need, that I have problems with these kind of gigs, the ones where I have to drive afterwards and stay super late, is to drive home. I am so glad the highway patrol wasn't out, because I would have got arrested, because I swerved. I literally blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did one of your numbers, but I was behind the wheel. That was,
Yeah,
and that's an eerie feeling.
yes, it's so scary. I I didn't black out, but it ended up being a total downpour, and I was coming from York, Pennsylvania. I did my buddy's wedding down there, and coming up 81, it started downpouring so bad that the tractor trailers pulled off to the side of the road. So when they pull off, it has to be bad. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding the steering wheel. I have white knuckles. So when I seen them pulling over, I'm like, okay, I'm pulling over, throw my four ways on. I'm just gonna stay here until I see them pulling out. And while I was sitting there and all the truckers are sitting there, this little Porsche went by us. Shoo! Oh boy. That car, I know it has good traction, but can't be that good. Oh, you got about 250 yards ahead of us. And all of a sudden you see the lights spinning around like, oh, well, that's what happens when you hit water running across the road. People don't realize, they think driving in snow, the roads are slippery. Driving in water, the roads are slippery too. It's almost just as bad as driving with snow on the road. It's
Mm-hmm.
just your car's going to go for a ride, and who's the only one that's going to get hurt? Is you. That's
Yep.
it. So safety from the time you leave your house. Well, not even the time you leave your house, while you're packing your vehicle. Always you checking, watching where you're walking. Make sure you're not bumping your head while you're getting in the car or slamming your fingers in the door, which I have done already, and then driving to the event and then driving home from the event. Because it's a long day DJing. People say, "Oh, you're just pressing buttons and this and that." It's a lot more than that. You're reading the crowd, people coming up talking to you. It's a long day, and once you're done, my old saying is, I still say for every event, I would rather set up for 100 events and break down for one. So much easier to set up than it is to break down. I don't know why, but it is.
Mm-hmm. And then also you're talking about hazards and stuff, packing your car, especially when you have the long poles, making sure it's right, because when you stop, that pole comes flying and you're in the back of the head. I had that
Oh,
happen to me a whole bunch of times.
I can I tell you a real quick funny story,
Oh,
if you don't mind?
wait a minute, let me set you up.
Okay,
Uh,
got me on a timer.
Now it's time for story time with DJ Mikey Mike.
Here we go. Did my nephew's wedding last year, and me and my son packed the car. Everything fit. So we're leaving, DJ the wedding. Everything was great, ceremony, reception, everything. And my son at that time, he was, he's 20, he just turned 22. So he said, Dad, do you mind if I drink? I said, well, Michael, I'm driving home. So yeah, I don't care if you drink. Just just remember to keep enough clear head so we break down, you know how to pack the car again. I said, matter of fact, when we got there, take a couple pictures of the car so you know where everything's at. Dad, I'll be okay. Well, we're all done DJing. I'm, zipping stuff up and he's taking stuff out to the car. And then he comes in and goes, Dad. I said, what's up, buddy? He said, we got a problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, all the stuff doesn't fit in my car. I'm like, wait a second. What do you mean it doesn't fit? Don't fit, Dad. I'm like, Michael, we got here. Everything was fit perfect in the car. I worked at UPS when I was in college, so UPS tightest ship in the shipping business, no wasted space. And I said, dude, I have to come out and check this. Well, I went out and checked that. I'm like, oh my God. So I started tearing stuff out of the car. I said, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put this. Well, already now we're tired. We just want to get home. He's like, all right, I'll just start pushing this stuff in. He's like, look at that, it fit. I said, yeah, you dummy. I have this door open so it would the pole went straight through, right to the other side, right out the other side, you know?
Uh-huh.
I said, let me shut the door at least. So shut the door. We did eventually get everything in the car, except I had to drive all the way home from basically the New Jersey state borderline with Pennsylvania back to Wilkes-Barre with a light stand on the back of my head like this. So I'm going on the road on 80, and he's going, Dad, the speed limit's 70. I said, listen, I can't pick my head up to see the road. I can't do 70, you know? But it was hilarious how alcohol can impair your judgment on just packing a car, you know?
How many times have you went to pack your car and do you think you got everything in there to turn around and look and see I carry a dolly. See my dolly is not in there. Or see a big speaker that's not in the car and you like, now how am I gonna get this back in this car?
I use a cart. Jesus, it's actually it's not a rock and roll cart. It was made by Rockville. I love this. It's better. I have a rock and roll cart. This is better than the rock and roll cart. I put everything on there. We, use the bungee cords, bring it over to the car. First thing that goes in is the table. Put the table in. The last thing that go in is the rock and roll cart. Fold it up. You flip it over upside down. And my one backpack gets set up by the one set of wheels, and the other backpack gets set up by the other set of wheels. We just slide that in the trunk. When I pull up to an event and people are like, "Oh, where's your van or where's your truck at?" I'm like, "Well, I got everything in the car." How did you fit? I'm pulling 12-inch subs out, two 12-inch speakers out, light stands, speaker stands. They're like, "You got all that in that car?" I'm like, "Yeah. I use my Subaru sometimes." You gotta be kidding me. Like, no, it's just, you gotta look at everything and just say, okay, I'm gonna pack this here, pack that there. It may take you 2 or 3 times to get it in there and get it right, but eventually you do get it right. I did one mistake one time. I packed the vehicle. Well, my son, my wife, and my daughter and her boyfriend came up, packed up the vehicle, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Pulled out. I forgot my microphones were up on top of the roof, so they went flying off the roof. Thank God my wife was behind me. She stopped. My son got out, picked them up, put them in the car with him. I'm like, and they still work to today. Thank God. Phoenix Pro, they're the best. I'll tell you. I have them. They made it through a 35 or 40-mile fall off the car. They did pretty good, you know.
All right. Because what model do you have?
The PTU 7. I actually have. Oh Jesus! I have basically every set they made.
Or is it the microphone the same as just what is it the rack or whatever the receiver thing?
It's the single microphone. And it's the 700, if I'm not mistaken.
Because that's what I have. Yeah.
I love it, and I have actually. I'm looking at the other one here, but I can't see what series it is. 1 second.
All right.
It is the PTAU2. That one is amazing. I also have the lavalier set. Amazing. Then I had the least expensive set. It's the 4 microphones. Especially if I'm doing a graduation party and people want to sing along, I pull them out and let them sing along with them. I'm saying they're inexpensive. I think they were like $249, but it's a set of 4, and they work great. I love them. But if they break, okay, my contract says they have to replace them, which they do. I never had no problem with anybody not replacing anything that was broken. Twice something got broken on me, but everything was replaced. But at least they're not damaging the microphones that I use for weddings. Like the PTAU, that one doesn't go out unless it's a wedding. The other one, That's well, unless it's a wedding or a corporate event.
Mhm.
I use it for that. But otherwise, I just use the four. I don't even know what series that one is. Every set of microphones I have are the Phoenix Pro. They are, to me, they're probably one of the best microphones out in the market, and they're not killing with price. Um, if they go through walls, I had no problem. I was approximately 200 feet away from the station, and the best man had such a fear to speak in public. He ran to the bathroom. So the groom told me to go in after him. Like, live microphone? He said, oh, yeah, definitely. I'm like, live microphone. So he was in there taking a number two. And I said, yo, George, I said, you going to give your speech? Oh, Mike, I'm taking a good you know what. And then everybody started clapping for him. He's like, what's everybody clapping for? I said, he goes, Mike, is your mic live? I said, yeah. He said, you got to be kidding me. I said, no. So he goes to grab the microphone. He's all done. I said, whoa, George, I'm on the microphone. George, you got to wash your hands before you touch my microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody started laughing out in the venue. And he came out, he had the microphone in his hand, and he gave such a wonderful, wonderful toast to the bride and groom. And I think if he had to be best man for the next 52 weeks at every one of his friends' weddings, he would have done it no problem, and he would have gave a speech like you wouldn't believe at every wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that fear of speaking in public. But the Phoenix Pro microphones, they do what they are supposed to do. I know there's some DJs that criticize them. Oh, you have to have Sennheiser, or you have to have this, or you have to... Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, Phoenix Pro, you're just getting into DJing, or even if you are into DJing for a while, purchase them. You will not be sorry. Believe me, they are wonderful, wonderful microphones.
Yep, and just make sure that you have fresh I shouldn't say fresh batteries, because mine's. Do yours have the display on it that tells you?
Yes, they do.
Okay, yeah, because once they get down to like 2 or 1 bar, then
Yeah,
that's when you will start hearing like distortion or dropouts at times. But other than that, if the batteries are fresh, they're reliable to me, and I like their lavalier mics because I can put it right here and talk, and I don't have to crank it up and then, in fear of getting the feedback or having to do this to be heard, like some of the cheaper ones I would have. So
I did have an expensive microphone. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it was just under $1,000, or it was just a little over $1,000 for a single microphone. And the maid of honor was giving her speech, and today most people have their speeches on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So she's started reading off her phone, and all of a sudden you get feedback. So I ran down quick. I said, listen, I said, you gotta take the phone away from the microphone. Why? I said, because you're causing the feedback and starting to cut out stuff. Okay. So she yells over to her daughter, bring me my iPad. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You're going from a little 5 or 6 inch phone now to a 12-inch iPad. What do you think that's going to do to the microphone? And this company states, they never had no problems. And I heard hundreds of DJs say, that's the microphone to buy. If you're a professional DJ, get this microphone. Guess what? If I had dropouts and feedback from that microphone, and I ended up selling it, and I bought the Phoenix Pros and never looked back. They are amazing. So Phoenix Pro, if you get a chance to hear this podcast or see it, you got 2 DJs here that love your products. We're willing to sample some, if you want us to sample some products for you.
Okay. And it look like I'm done talking about what I want to talk about, because it's like I'm not used to the show ending around 10 o'clock an hour. Cause
Oh, I know. We're not done yet, are we?
I'm,
I got a couple more stories you could tell.
now let's save it. Let's save it for not next week, but
Yes.
the week after.
Yeah,
Cause
definitely.
because this week is like I didn't think, because normally I find myself, if I have a Saturday event like a wedding or something, or if I have to drive out to do the wedding, it usually takes Sunday for me to recover and get back moving. Monday I'm usually back into the swing of it, but after Tuesday, it was like not Tuesday, last Saturday's event. Like Tuesday, I was still sluggish.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Now, how far do you travel? What's the furthest you'll travel for a wedding or any event?
The furthest I traveled so far was to the first one I did for Kevin back in September. Let me see how far that was. I want to say that was a 2-hour one. Is that Cary, Ohio? Ohio. It was a DJ wedding vaults. That was the furthest. The vault wedding. Cary, Ohio. Let me see. Start from home. All right. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's 2 hours and 15 minutes one way. DJ 5 hours, an hour setup, an hour breakdown, drive back. You're talking 12, 14 hour day, if not longer.
Mm-hmm. And I did
and then
ceremony. I did the ceremony for this one too. So.
so yeah, I mean it's a long, long day. I mean, I've traveled down to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Lancaster, York. There is one venue by me, which is only, I want to say approximately about 20 miles, if that. But it takes 45 minutes to an hour to get to this venue because you get up the main road and then it's just all these little country roads they're not even paved, they're dirt roads. So, and they're one lane. So if you see a car coming or you see an 18-wheeler coming, you got to pull off to the side and then you got to wait 5-10 minutes for that, especially an 18-wheeler, for all that dust to clear. Then you get back on your way, and then it's when you get to the end of the dirt road, you go up, you make a quick right, and then you make a quick left, and it's a steep incline. I do not care what type of vehicle you have, you always hit your tailpipe when you go up that incline. Then once you get to the top of the hill, there's this beautiful, beautiful barn looking over the whole valley. You could look up to the north and see the Wilkes-Barre, Wyoming Valley. You could look down towards the south. You're seeing Bloomsburg, Danville, that whole area, Elysburg. I mean, the venue is beautiful. It's a barn, but it's in an amazing spot that you could see everything, But just that last hill, forget about it. Thank I didn't tear up my tailpipe yet, but it's just like, oh boy, you just cringe when you hear that noise.
Yeah, those reminds me because I went to West Virginia University. So Morgantown, we have roads like that. That's narrow 2 lane roads, one going this way, one going that way, and those curves and the mountains is steep, and then it gets foggy and it's scary because you look over the side and if you flip over the side, you're done. It's gonna be a while before they find you.
Yeah, exactly. And most times, like when you're in a place like that, there's no cell phone service, no nothing. So you're flying by the seat of your pants. That's about it. It is scary, and people like, okay, I can't say I live in a metropolitan area. It's a Wyoming Valley. I forget what the population is, but basically when we're in the valley here, we have service. I could go out of the valley and like this past weekend at that barn, it took me 18 minutes to get there, but when I got there, I had no cell service. None. None at all. So I was about about 17 miles away from my house, but no cell phone service at all. None. Well, okay, just got to deal with it. I was able to text, could make no phone calls, but able to text.
Yep, that's how it was with me when I went to do the fireworks thing. The GPS worked up until I got down into where they were, and I sent messages out letting them know that I was there. I just assumed they got it until I got back home and looked and saw that the message wasn't delivered, and they was saying they was trying to contact me as well, and I missed a couple of messages. So
yeah, it's unfortunately, people take it for granted that no matter where we're going to be, you're going to have cell phone service. Now, I just heard on the news this past week that Apple struck a deal with Elon Musk for that Starlink, and if they do that, and I guess Verizon, everybody will start going over to Starlink, and it's going to be, you're going to have service no matter where you go. I don't care if you're out in deep in the woods or if you're in the middle of New York City, you're going to have cell phone service no matter where you're at. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see what my bill will go up to, but you never know.
Right.
Now, what do you have coming up this weekend, Dwayne?
Our church is going back, the renovations to our roof, our ceiling, our glass dome. They finished that, so they had like a walkthrough today for the community, and then not today, but tomorrow they have the walkthrough. Then Saturday they have the big festival event, so I'll be doing the music for that. And then Sunday will be the first time back in our church since I want to say the end of October or early November. So
that's great. Yeah, you're DJing for the church. You have your whole church community there. That means so much to them, and it gives you such a great feeling when you could do something to help somebody out. I try to DJ as much events I can. I try to help out as much people as I can. But I had one event that I got burned on. It was the family lost their home due to fire. Turns around, the family had insurance on their house. We raised over $16,000 for the family, and the husband just took it and blew it at the casino. Not love it. So anymore, I do charge very minimal charge for doing an event, unless I really, really know the family, the person, or whatever. Then okay, I won't charge it all. Or I do charge. Let's see. Well, this is my fee, but here I want to donate that back to you. So it's just like one hand washing the other, but it gives you a good feeling inside. I watched a young man who is a vlogger and photographer and a videographer, and he does 2 events a year free of charge, and he'll do the videotaping plus take photos, and if people want portrait photos, he'll do that. Everything in this one day. I guess he has a staff too that works for him, but that is so nice that he does this. The world needs a little bit more kinder people like that, because everything's so chaotic in today's world. So stuff like that means a lot to a lot of people, and it gives you a good feeling inside. Very good feeling inside.
Yep. And now I can't believe I forgot to mention this. That's another reason why I'm tired, because we had to move all the AV equipment, the mixer, the cameras. Yesterday I went to go move the drums and the keyboards back to our church, and then I had to rehook everything back up, make sure everything worked, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How was the weather? Was it hot and humid?
It dumped rain yesterday for a second. But of course, the seconds that I had to go and move the instruments out
Yeah.
and then put it in the church. It was raining. But the other time, this part of the church is almost like going into your attic. It's like when you walked in, it was already hot, but it was one of those standing stuffy hot that as soon as you walk in the room, it smacks you in the face, kind of hot.
Yeah, it's like walking into a wall. Boom.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God. Oh boy.
'Cause I didn't-
That's hard.
And then going back to our church is an old church, and it's like that. And I forgot how hot our church get.
Yeah.
So I gotta
yeah,
make sure I bring this with me on Sunday to have next to me, at least blow some mist or stuff on me.
Yeah. You see my little kitty cat?
Yep.
I got a visitor. I'll tell you what I have. I have a big 18-inch fan I put on my floor and two 10-inch fans that I put on each side of my table to blow onto my computer and my hard drives. And everybody looks at me and says, "You're not sweating." I'm like, no, I'm not sweating, and I'm not going to be because I'm nice and cool back here, you know? But they help out a great deal. Unfortunately, we can't control the weather, and we have an outdoor event, or if you have an indoor event where the AC should break, oh boy, it's terrible then, you know?
I see
this
Buddy
look-
came, and he's in the chat now.
Hello, buddy.
All right, so because you almost missed us, Buddy. We're not doing the 2-hour show tonight. So
Nope.
Yep. Before we head into the next segment, let's just go back over some of the things that I had picked up that I kind of like learned from doing this event. Doing the Buddy, I don't know if he was here at the beginning, but I did the fireworks show for Kevin, and this is where I had to provide the sound for the fireworks show at the field, where I had to bring 6 speakers, and then I used 4 speakers up at the festival. So that was almost like it wasn't an almost, it was an all day event. And these are the things that I learned, and one of the takeaways that people should think about when they do like their outside events, no matter whether it's big or small. The thing is, make sure you bring tarps to cover your table, or bring plastic bags to put over your speakers. And then also, I have a whole bunch of I don't know where it came from. It came from when I got my gravity stands. The plates came in these plastic bags, and it's clear. So that's perfect to put over my computer. So therefore I can see what's going on the, still do what I need to do. The other thing is to always don't always depend on the venue having lights, because where you at, you may not have lights once the lights go down, or once you're out there and they turn the main switch off, or if it's on a timer and it goes out, then you're in the dark. So it's good to have I had my generator with me with the light. Also in the car, I got it from JCPenney's for Christmas. It's a light, and then it has tools on the side. So that's a good one to have. So just as long as you have lights, or if you have up lights, battery powered up lights, to use that and bring it to give light to you when you're in the dark, that's a good way. And then I learned something else about putting your speakers on stands instead of putting it on the stand and trying to lift it up. Brian S. Red, as Mike had pointed out, he would put the stand on the side, put the speaker on the side, slide the stand in the hole, and lift the stand with the speaker on, as opposed to trying to be like me, lift it up and trying to hold the pole and fight with the little pin to have it slip down and hit you on top of the head. That would not have been a good sight. Me getting knocked out.
I'm just picturing that because I know what my neck and my back injury. I compressed my neck into my body, and it's ever since then my whole life has changed. Man, this little girl here will want to stop bothering me. Not stop bothering me. She's my little girlfriend.
No, I can't do 3 hours today, buddy. No, because it's like after that, doing the fireworks show, it's like I was just saying a few minutes ago, it's like it took me a couple of days to recover and to get back into the swing of everything. And then I had to go move the equipment from one church back to our church, and then I still got to prep for Saturday's gig. So yeah, I gotta make sure I get myself back and mentally focused. And then they want me to play the drums on Sunday, so it's like I gotta learn these songs. So I got a lot I gotta get done.
Yeah, a lot on your plate for
Yeah.
just in a couple of days, you know.
Cause I don't wanna be doing one of these numbers and like.
Yeah, yeah. Like that. Right. I tell you, but we would definitely try a 3-hour show, but I just don't know. But there we go, we're back.
Yep. And the other thing that you always need to keep in mind is always leave with enough time for a margin of either traffic or like with me when I went to pick up the speakers, going to the gig, a whole bunch of people being in the store. So that was like a 30-minute wait time. So if I had to wait till the last minute, I would definitely have been hurt.
I wanted to expand on that when you said you went to Guitar Center to pick up your rentals. I know there's a big thing now that a lot of the bride and groom, the wedding couple, instead of hiring a DJ, instead of hiring a band, they're renting equipment now themselves. And I know the Guitar Center by my house here, supposedly, I don't know how, according to the couple, they told the venue manager that they went up there and they were given 3 free lessons about the lighting that they rented, about the DJ equipment that they rented. Well, it wasn't DJ equipment, it was just two speakers. They ran their, I don't know if it was their phone or their iPad into it and play their music off that. So, they had to get speaker stands, the light stands, the whole works. And you're going in to pick up 2 speakers, but now you got this person in front of you that has to check out all this other stuff. So that might have been that going on at your Guitar Center too.
It was because the lady at my church, she borrowed my keyboard because she had wanted me to play for their family reunion, but I couldn't because I had this Saturday gig. And this is the other thing. I gotta talk to her and see when their reunion is, because I'm like, you're paying someone to play the piano, but they don't have a piano, and then you're running all over the town trying to get a keyboard. Because when she initially asked me, did I have a professional keyboard? And I have a whole bunch of professional keyboards. But once she started saying that this person is old, they're not good with digital like keyboards, they play like the acoustic piano, and start giving the rundown, I'm like, ain't no way I'm gonna give you my professional keyboard. So I ended up giving her one of my, Casio kind of keyboards, got the little drum things and stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, if you're the piano player and you paying this person to play for you, they should at least go and try to get a stand or something, not you running all over, going to Guitar Center, trying to get what you think that person need. And then I thought she said they had a DJ. And then I'm seeing her rent a mixer. She had 2 Harbinger speakers, but they gave her the pole and they gave her all the stuff, and they was telling her how to hook it up. I'm looking at her, I'm like, they're not gonna remember how to hook that up and all these other microphones and stuff. It's like you could tell it, but as soon as you get out to the venue, you're not gonna remember. If you never did it and you don't understand what goes where and why you do the fader here or set this setting, you're not gonna remember. And it was just so happened when I was returning my stuff, one of the guys was returning something that they had forgot. And when the guy had asked them how did the event go, they said that they couldn't get one speaker to work and they couldn't get the keyboard to go through the mixer and all this stuff. And it was like, see, to me, I would have just did a played on a track. I would have sung the song to the track, but she was saying how they had to stop and do this, that, and the other. But I'm thinking, who is your DJ? Your DJ should be able to play a song to a certain point, stop it, and pick the song up at a certain point. I'm like, that's why we need to sit and talk. 'Cause I think she spent a whole bunch of money that she didn't need to, and then pay other people that should have been able to step up and take care of the business, not having her run all over Cleveland trying to, make ends meet for them. That should,
Yeah.
you hired them to do it, they should be able to do it.
Exactly. I mean, if he or she was a professional DJ, not even a professional DJ, even a bedroom DJ, he should know how to fade in and fade out of a song. He should know how to adjust the volume. He should have had, that speaker ain't working. Well, maybe it's got to unplug the sex alarm, plug it into the other, like, A and B inputs. So maybe there's something wrong with A input. Try B input. If then there's something wrong with the B input, well, they have an RCA jack, then run RCA cables out to it.
Mhm.
You try everything, but apparently, this person that said they were a DJ, I don't think they were a DJ of any sort. They might have been a boombox DJ. That's about it.
Or
they have
a family
boombox
friend.
and-
That's what a family
Yeah.
friend that plays music. So just like you said you had bagged into DJing, and that's how you got the djmikiemike because of another friend. So it could have been that one. So that's why I need to talk to her, because she'll probably be there Saturday when we do our festival and stuff, just to see how things went and all that. But
Yeah, it's today people are looking, and I know times are hard. Going back a few years ago when everything just opened up from COVID, DJs, venues, photographers upped their prices so much. It was unreal, and people had the money to pay for it because they were collecting good checks from the government. If you're on unemployment, whatever, your unemployment didn't stop. You were getting it all the while. You were actually getting double of what you usually should get. So once they lifted that, okay, your checks got cut, but a lot of people saved their money, and now they're going to have their wedding or whatever, and they weren't afraid to spend it. They were like, hey, I didn't work for it. I don't care. I'm spending it. That's it. So now that they're working for it again, but now the venue prices didn't come down. The photographers, they're starting to come down with their prices. And the most important person, the DJ, paid, I lowered my prices somewhat. But the couples or whoever's having the event, they still want it lower than what I'm offering. And it's like, I have to make a living too. And I have to, pay for this and pay for that. I have to pay for my insurance. I have to pay for my record pools, everything. And they just don't get it, but they'll just turn around and pay somebody that, that I'm not knocking a photographer. Just say the photographer is charging $1,100 for 2 or 3 hours of photography. To me, I don't know, that's it's quite expensive because you don't have no film no more. I'm sure you can come down the price a little bit, but they won't come down. And it's, should we keep our prices up there too? I don't know. I have no idea. It just it kills me with stuff like that. It's
I'm definitely going up in mine because it's like the more and more events that I do, now I'm starting to see why prices are the way they are. So it's like I'm going up on mines, and I got to start being a stickler. And
oh yeah, I mean, going back, right prior to COVID, I was like 1,800. Now I'm up to 2,800. But I came some events that I know are closer to home and don't include that much details to it. I'll come down to 2,000, 2,200. Just because I know I'm not that far from home. I know it's a very easy thing to do that day. So I can bend the rules a little bit. But then you get those clients that they want everything, but they want it at a lower price than that even. It's like, no, I'm sorry, you can't go there with that. No, you want everything, you're gonna pay for everything. You know, it's yeah, but you own the lights already, or you own this already. Yeah, but that's like taking your car to a mechanic. He owns all his tools. He has to buy the parts. Our parts are our equipment and our songs. Call a plumber.
Actually, you don't even mention car people, because when you really think about it, car parts could cost $2, but you gotta spend $50 or $100 in labor for every hour or something. So that's where it's not even the parts that we paying for. We paying for the mechanic's time.
Labor. Yeah, yeah. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, their son works at a local retail store here. I had to get a wire for his iPhone.
Mm.
Well, the store sells this wire for like $11. Here, their son got it for 88 cents. I'm like, was it on sale? No. The store gets it for like a ridiculous low price. I think it was like 18 cents or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're selling it for 11. The people are buying it. And the employees are paying, that cheap amount. I'm like, how, like, where's the justification? I know you got to make money. There's no wrong about that. But why are you killing people with that? There's the Hercules T7. That was, I think, my son's graduation party, the red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'll be tomorrow night at R&D Memories. Yeah, that is my son's graduation party.
And Buddy says he is a DJ in his mind. I'm sure if it was a YouTube video, he would know what to do. Actually, I bet you if they could kind of read the things, they probably know what to do, because something that goes out has to go into the other peripheral. And the same thing, if it goes in, something gotta go out. So just go in, out, and just look at what's on the back of the unit. And then also, Buddy, I gave Buddy the link. So if he wanted to join us,
yeah,
you'll probably see it. I put the link in your messenger on Facebook. But it was something I was going to say. You had mentioned something about the brides and the couples paying for going and renting out speakers and equipment and everything. That's all fine and dandy, but again, it's just like with the lady when she went and got it, they can tell her what to do, but about time she gets to the event, she's gonna forget how to use it, or it's not gonna come out as good as you think it's gonna come out.
Well, the venue manager told me Mike, it was so funny. Everybody got there. Everybody from the bridal party was drunk. The one gentleman said he would do the introductions. Okay, so he had the microphone walking in. He introduced the first couple. Him and the other girl were the second couple coming in. Then he stood up there and he just kept on announcing the people. But they played music. It wasn't like what we would do. Like you have your cocktail hour music, then you have your intro. They just had dance music from the get-go to the end. They had no dinner music, no introduction music. It was just music. And he was just talking. He was talking over the person singing, which makes it hard to understand what the person on the microphone is saying. And then throughout the course of the night, he would go out for a cigarette and he would forget his phone was in his back pocket. Well, they're Bluetooth and everything. And as soon as he stepped outside to have a cigarette, music went off. Hi, buddy. What happening, sir?
What's going on, guys? How's everything
Not much.
going?
Not much, my friend. How you doing?
I was just on the other podcast on tonight.
Uh-huh. You
And I'm
don't
on your
Yep.
podcast.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
You don't have to jump next week cuz we're going to do a show together next week.
Yeah, I know that Diego and Shay said so. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. They're cool guys. We were talking about CRMs on their show because I use Vibo, like yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you hear these stories, like you're saying, Mike, DJs who are out there not able to do basic things, they're using the term DJ. Like
Very
I'm
loosely.
a chef, but when they walked into a commercial kitchen, they wouldn't know the first thing to do. They wouldn't understand. They don't understand like health protocol. Like you ask them, hey, what's the health temperatures? What's the temperatures you can have between this and that? Um, they couldn't tell you that, has to be below 40 and above 140. They
Yeah.
couldn't tell you times. They couldn't tell you half the things that a professional cook would know, or someone who's worked in around food. Like I've worked around food. I'm not a chef. I would never say I'm a chef. I know it's enough to be dangerous, but I got health certified when I worked in retail and management because we had food, um, coffee and other stuff. Sounds funny, but it's all food, and a lot of municipalities want you to have the sanitation certification to deal with it. So when I see DJs and I hear stories about that, or I hear from customers about they talk to a DJ and they were either trying to hardcore sell them or they had no idea explaining to them what they want to do for their wedding. To me, it's someone who's over their head. And this is one of the things when we were talking about on the last show. Are you a professional or not? And it's kind of the same thing. Is this person a professional? Does this person do this? Or is this person using the title? Just because I know CPR and I know some medical knowledge does not make me an EMT or a paramedic or a doctor. I have medical knowledge. I have some medical training, some first aid training, but I'm not going to go and try and do open heart surgery. And that's the thing, is that some of these guys and girls who are out there saying they're a DJ, they go buy some gear, they go buy some stuff, they hang out with Mike on a weekend and watch Mike DJ, and they're like, "Hey, I know everything now. I can go do it myself." Kind of, Mike said there was a guy in his market who has all the top gear, but couldn't DJ his way out of a paper bag, and we've seen that a few times at a few places, and I've seen it at venues that have multiple DJs at it. That I'm listening to when their DJ's doing. Just again, I'm a fan of music, so I'm just there just listening and see what they're playing and what they're doing is a hot song, and I'm listening to how they're doing stuff, and I'm like, why would you do that? I have questions because not to like, hey, what are you doing? It's more like, am I doing something wrong? But when I'm hearing stuff that I'm like, wait, what are you doing? How did you do that? Not like, oh wow, that was an awesome thing. Like, why do you have massive horse beats mixing two songs together? Are you doing it on purpose? Okay, one time I can see it because again, we're human. We all make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but
Exactly.
what are you mixing on that? What are you doing that for? It's just certain things you listen to and you see, and you kind of shake your head at and go, this person does not know what they're doing.
Exactly. A relative of mine got married, and the DJ, beautiful setup. I mean, the facade, everything, and the EV70s, I think he had, and then he had a EV Verse 8 on the outside on the deck. Now I heard the 70s before; they were beautiful, but these 70s, there was something missing. It was There was a high pitched noise to it, and like, my mom has dementia, and she came to the wedding with me. My wife, she had work that day, so she couldn't get out of work, and my son or my daughter weren't invited, so it was just me, my wife, and my mother, but my wife had work, so me and my mom went to it. And my mom goes to me, she goes, "Do you hear that noise?" I'm like, I didn't want to say yes first because I didn't know where she was going to go with it. She goes, "Mike, that noise is driving me crazy." And it reminded me of Christmas Vacation. Beyond hearing a squirrel in the tree, that noise. And my mom goes, "There it is again, Mike." I said, Then my cousin Kathy goes, "Yeah, that's an awfully high pitched noise." And I got up on the table, and the closer I got to the speaker, it was actually coming from the speaker. I'm like, wow, what the heck? So it happened to be there was two DJs, and they weren't behind the facade, and I peeked over. I'm like, no mixer, no controller. They had a wire coming out of their headphone jack that went into it was the Scarlet that it went in, and then two XLR cables came out, and they ran them right to the speakers. Now the Everse 8 that was Bluetooth sounded perfect, but the other two that were hardware, oh my god, they were horrible, and it was just this high pitched noise. And then other people started complaining about it. A couple of the tables complained about it. I don't know what these people did, but I don't know if they're still DJing. But then the gentleman goes on and he goes, dance floor is now open, ladies and gentlemen. He said, "All right, we're going to start the setup with a couple songs from the 80s, and this one's almost 40 years old." Puts the song on, and, well, you know what? Ain't from the 80s. The song came out in 1994. I'm like, oh, you got. I'm not one to go up and tell the DJ, like, "Listen, you screwed up," but I had to at this point in time because he was drooling over the Beyond that was giving the toast, and he just kept on going on and on about this, on how beautiful she is, and this and that. Then he comes up with this stupid mistake about a song from the 80s. It's almost 40 years old, and here it's 1994. The song came on. I went up and I said, "Dude," I said, right. He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, "Nice equipment, everything." I said, "Everything's sounding all right." I said, "You got a little high pitched noise coming." He goes, "Yeah." He said, "We don't know what's happening with it." I said, "Well, okay." I said, "Well, the song that you're playing," I said, "you said it's from the 80s. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're doing an 80s set now." So I said, "Here's my phone. And here's the title of the song." And I said, "Look what year it came out." He's like, "Oh, man." I'm like, all right, these guys are weekend warriors. That's it. And my cousin paid them over $4,000. I'm like,
Whoa.
unbelievable. They didn't have the gig bar move. They just had the first gig bar. That was it. That was the only light they had. The facade. They didn't have a gaming laptop. They just had a regular laptop and just this little box that their wire went into, and two XLR cables came out that went out to the speaker. I'm like, wow. Here I go. I'm with a controller, a QSE Touch Mix 8, and microphones for the guest, and microphones for the best man and maid of honor, and lights all over the place. And I don't like I told Dwayne, if I know it's in close proximity to my house, yeah, I will cut down the price a little bit. But these guys they were over the top for what they charge or what they offered. I'm like, no, there's no possible way. This at tops $1,600. That's it. I mean,
So, Mike, when you see something like this, and I've seen them too, I always like to walk up to them, ask them questions, and when they can't answer their basic questions, and this may sound like a kind of a jerky move, but I'm like, here's my card. I'm sure, again, you have questions. Give me a call. Let me help you. And the reason why I say is a kind of not jerky move like you're a jerk. Like I'm not trying to say I'm better than they are, but it's like you can see they're struggling and they need some help. They need some pointers. They may not understand things like your friend there who basically plugged it from a headphone jack into, sound like more or less just a volume control into XLR versus a mixer, and they're having sound because they don't have an EQ, and they're running whatever software or running YouTube videos or whatever. It's to me again, you see a lot of DJs out there. There's DJs who use Spotify, DJs who do this kind of stuff all the time to run the videos off of whatever platform or music off of whatever platform, and all you can do is say, okay, fine, great. Uh, why am I better DJ than they are when when you talk to clients? This is what separates me from them, and this is how you can ensure to your customers and your clientele that you are truly a professional. It's kind of the equation to the person who your friend can come over and fix your sink. There's a commercial here from one of the local companies. The guy walks in and he's there to repair the sink, and the guy's there at the sink. He goes, "I think there's something wrong with the P trap," and the guy goes to his phone and says, "What does a P trap look like?" He's asking the phone to show him a picture of a P trap, and it's kind of the same thing. You get that with some DJs out there, and all you can do is you.
So I guess Mike, you still there? Let's see. What happened? Let me see.
On your stuff, the event you just did at the park and stuff like that, and you said you had to have multiple speakers around there. What was your end result with everything at the end of the night of the event of the gig?
They said they said it sounded good. And then I asked Kevin's friend. I keep forgetting his name. He got the Italian name. He was
yes.
He's a block away. Jeffrey, what I forget his last name, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he said he heard it over there, so I was like, okay, fine, that was good. And then when I got to the fireworks, I just did the same thing. I turned everything up, and the speakers were clipping, so I just dialed it back so it's under the clipping, and I figured it'd be loud enough. And then once I got on the mic and said, "We're 10 minutes away from the fireworks show," and everyone was like, "Yay, yay!" So I was like, okay, it must be loud enough. But then I did see a YouTube video where someone was sitting far back, and the fireworks were going off, and you can hear the music. So I was like, okay, it must have been good enough. And the event, the person over the event said it was fine. So I guess everything worked.
I see you're using. You see you're using some German. Good enough. It was good enough for the event. So that's some good German there.
That's one thing you'll never be louder than fireworks. I mean, they are so loud, and they're going up, and when they explode, they're coming. Everything is propelled.
Yeah, it's other areas got rain. So
Hey, who's that man there?
Yep. That was twice, and this the second time it just went out and then wouldn't come back on.
That was what happened to me last week. I went out, but I did come back on.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was all about.
But it's sad because like some of these guys go out and they start DJing, and I mean everybody has to start somewhere, and that's fine and dandy with me. But do not, I say don't step over your boundaries. Don't pretend you're something you're not. Yes, okay. I'm an up and coming DJ. Have I ever done a wedding before? No, I haven't. So I really don't feel as though I could do your wedding. That would be the easiest thing these two DJs could have told my cousin. But they didn't. They accepted it. And when they said they didn't know where the noise was coming from in their speakers, and it never happened before, and it wasn't just one speaker, it was both speakers. And I told them, I said, it may be a bad ground. Yeah, I said, but I played in this venue several times, and I know the wiring is all brand new. So might have been something in their equipment, their power strip, their power conditioner, whatever they had going on back there. And
or lack thereof.
the thing I come in, I look back behind the facade, and I look back there. They had, I guess they stopped for a hoagies at Subway. They had Subway hoagie wrappers back there. They had sodas back there. The one guy had a highball back there. I'm like, oh my God, like, okay, yeah, you can hide stuff back here. People can't see it. But if they come up to request a song, they're going to see it because they're actually looking over the facade. So be kind, be polite. If you're gonna drink alcoholic beverages, you shouldn't be DJing the event. And if you're done eating, don't leave the wrapper there. You got invited. Yeah. Plus they had their meal at the venue too. So they had their meal plus a hoagie each. I'm like, oh my God, throw those wrappers away. They didn't care. They just
Tell me you're from out east without telling me you're from out east.
Yeah,
Hoagies.
Subs, hoagies. I don't care what venue I'm at. When I leave my area, usually I leave it cleaner than when I came into it. Because I come into areas where there's still tape on the floor, there's a bottle of soda or an iced tea bottle tucked away in the corner there where you got to plug in your extension or your whatever. It's like, how could this DJ just do this? Whoever it was.
There was a wedding we did a while back, Tracy and I. The photographer left a pile of batteries behind.
No, that's uncalled for. That's
we cleaned it up. We grabbed it because we're like,
yeah,
it's in our area and we're professionals, and we just brought it home. We now we're told by our municipality and multiple people, and you can Google it, that regular AA batteries could be disposed of in normal trash.
Yeah.
And it was before we're recycling them. We were taking in, our municipality had a recycling for AA batteries. We take them and drop them off, but now we don't need to.
I'll tell you, it's so funny. Here we have recycling. It's once a month. Halfway up the hill, it's Wilkes-Barre area. They have it twice a month. But what we found out, both Wilkes-Barre and Plains Township, Plains Township has this big machine, and they dump everything in it, all the recyclables. The only thing that gets recycled out of everything is the aluminum. You know what I mean, right?
Aluminum, yes.
But everything else, the glass, the plastic, everything, it gets put through a shredder and it gets taken to our local dump. I'm like, what's the point of recycling then? Point is, they're not making enough money at this point in time. So they would just rather dump it in the dump. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not a commissioner. I have nothing to say about this, but just a total waste. They bought this big, they glorify this big piece of machinery to do all this stuff where that it'll separate everything, and they could do this, do that. I'm like, yeah, it could do all that, but they're not using it to its advantages.
Well, talking about recycle, buddy, do you know on my Rev 1 controller, the tempo slider, when you move it, instead of it going, the numbers in order, like let's say 100, 99, 98, 97, and so on. And when you slide it up, it goes 100, 101, right in order. When I slide mine will go in order, a couple of numbers, and then they'll jump up, to a different beat, and then they jump back down. And do you
Your
know?
range is too big in your
It's
software.
it's not the range. It's the right tempo slider, because when I use the left slider, it doesn't do that, and when I use the slider without the controller, it doesn't do that, and when I plugged in my other controller, it didn't do it. So it's like that slider thing is messed up. Do you know anybody that sell replacement parts? Because Pioneer doesn't. It's sold out of that.
Are you talking? You're not talking about your crossfader or your faders for your volume. You're talking about for your timing done, correct?
The tempo slider, because I noticed when I went
tempo.
on. Yeah.
You want to send it in for service. One of the best places actually in the U.S. Is here in or were they? Not Warrenville. I can't remember what town they are. I want to say Downers Grove. They have two places, but the one day actually you want to mail it to or send it to Deltonics, and I'll give you. They are a repair center for Pioneer. They are really, really great for fixing electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And the company is DEL TRONICS, and they're in Woodridge. I couldn't remember Woodridge or Lisle. They're 2021 75th Street, Woodridge, WOODRIDGE, Illinois, and the zip code 60517.
All right, so there should be two of them, right? So
there's one in the city that is their other repair center. The one in Woodridge takes shipping. That's the one they're gonna have you ship it to.
Woodridge. Let me see. All right,
Woodridge.
I see it. Yep. 2021 West 75th Street.
West 75th Street.
Okay.
I just put it in the chat for you for the address. DeltronicsChicago.com is the address, and I'm going to put that in there for you, so you can share that with.
All right, thanks.
They are a repair center for Pioneer. I've had my Pioneer stuff repaired there. They are a repair center for a lot of speaker companies, including RCF. I've had my RCFs repaired there. They do take a bit. They're not the quickest, because it all boils down to how fast they can get parts. It may be something simple as needs to be cleaned. It could be something as elaborate as replacement. They do charge a fee. You want to contact them. They do charge a fee, and they have instructions on their website. I just drive over there because they're local to me. And you pay the fee, and they'll give you an email or a phone call and tell you, hey, this is how much it is to repair, and that fee goes toward a repair.
Okay.
It's like $60 if I remember correctly. It's been a little bit since I was there last, but I had to have both my RCF J8s, the black ones, repaired because they fell off a cart, and they repaired them. They got RCF original OEM parts, and repaired them, replaced a board, replaced a woofer. So it did all the work, and then had it back to me. It was probably about like around 7 weeks turnaround time.
Okay.
So it is not a quick 1, 2, 3. Send it in tonight. They'll get it tomorrow, and it'll be done by the weekend. It's unfortunately it's not that way. They have a lot to go through. They have a lot of repair, but if you go to their website, Deltonics, as you click on ship your repairs, they'll have everything there, and they'll send the equipment to the one on 75th.
Okay.
You don't want to send to the one in the city because, again, look for it. They do repair there, but they don't accept the shipments. They're going to tell you to They're gonna send it back to you. They get paid for shipping again to the one in Woodridge. There's an intake form there you fill out with information, email address, what the problem is, and it's a $75 fee for you pay. So, and then you pay that $75, you ship it to them. If you have the original box and everything for it, this is why keeping your box is important. You can ship it to them, and then you take it to like the UPS store. It's not going to be cheap to send in it. That's the thing you want to look at: how old of a unit it is, how much it costs, how much it will cost to ship it back and forth, and what do you think repair is. I definitely would say, depending on what controller it is, how old it is, it may be more beneficial to replace it.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm thinking.
if you really want to keep it and put the money out, shipping is not going to be cheap. You take it to the UPS store and take it there because you don't have a UPS account. You're probably talking maybe $60 to $80 to $100 to send it and then get it back. And then whatever the repair cost is. So $75 to look at it. You figure a couple $100 to fix it. The $75 comes off of that. But even you say $100 to ship, $300 to repair, $400, the $1,000 piece. Did you get $600 worth of business out of it? If so, okay. You go also look at Pioneer. You go also look around there where you're in Cleveland, seeing when is electronics repair. But Deltonics is an authorized repair center for Pioneer, and they take repairs from nationwide.
Okay. Yeah, because I tried to do it. It's just I had to bring one extra piece because I can just MIDI like a little, one of these little MIDI doohickeys with a knob. It's just, I don't want to have to always bring an extra piece to do the tempo slider just for that.
For Deltonics is very good about repair. They even repair VCRs. They're electronics repair. They can do board replacement on parts, and definitely would talk to them about any electronic item that you have for professional audio. And then they have, when you go there, they have stuff for sale there too. They have stuff they've repaired and people have not picked it up, and after a while, they sell it. The last time I was there, they had a controller there. I can't remember what the controller was, but they had it sitting there. It was repaired. It's for sale. There's for sale area. So if you're looking for some used gear, give them a call. They're great people. They're knowledgeable. It just takes time because they have to get it. You have so many people in front of you. Their technicians will tear it down. Then if you okay it, they got to order the parts from whoever it is, get the parts in, repair it, test it, make sure it's 100%, and give it back to you.
All right.
I'll tell you, like music around. A friend of mine, he was looking to sell some of his equipment, and it's sad. Like he has the QSE K12.2. They were gonna give him $200 something for not one, for the pair. I told him, I said, dude, don't do it. I'll save up the money. I'll buy them off. Yeah, well, very fortunately, he was able to sell them to another DJ, and he got $1,000 a piece for them. I'm like, you made your money back. I'm happy for you.
All right. So
again.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the show off because I don't know what happened earlier with the internet dropping.
Hey, that's fine. It was better than me dropping. like I said, we're here to have fun. Um, that was fun. Well, it wasn't fun because of my heart rate and stuff, and having those shots in my back, and I didn't think I was going to have that type of a side of effect. I've always had 12 shots, never 16. First time I had the 16 shots in my back, and it just totally messed me up. I hopefully this time I don't have to have 16 in 2 weeks from now. But if it does, that Thursday, I'm definitely gonna say, buddy, you gotta step in for me, man. You're my designated hitter, you know? It just I don't know. Like I said, I never had that happen to me before. Ever. Just
Well, I would definitely say talk to your doctor. And
yeah, I did. I even went to to doctors. Emergency department. I actually had my family doctor's visit today, and he said, "Did you get back in touch with your pain management doctor?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What did he say?" They told me that's a normal side effect, that your heart rate will go up, and then
you
it
pass
will
out.
eventually come back down. I said, "Yeah, but it's a little scary, you know."
Well, yeah, that guy didn't happen when you were driving or something. So
Exactly.
you're good. You're safe. You're happy. That's the
Yeah.
important part.
Yep.
And then again, thank you guys both for inviting me on to your show. It's always great to be on here once in a while.
Enjoy it, but I really enjoy you having on. I haven't been in the children for about 2 months now. I just haven't had the time taking care of my mom. Her that sundown syndrome is getting worse and worse and worse. The dementia I could put up with, the sundown syndrome. We put up with it, but I feel bad for her because she's not getting her right sleep, and then she might go 4 days on like an hour and a half sleep each day, and then all of a sudden she'll fall asleep at 10 o'clock at night and sleep till 4 o'clock the next afternoon, and I don't wake her.
Take care of your mom. Take care of family.
Oh,
Take care of yourself. That's the important stuff. And if you can't take care of yourself, you're not gonna be able to cue it up, man.
No, I know. This cat she's
You give her some pets. Well, Dwayne wraps up this parcel.
Well, see, these are little rubbery wire things that you can get at Home Depot, and I love them. Like my wires coming off my table, like behind, for my hard drives and for my mixer. I'll put them together and I'll just wrap these around. I don't know how she found. Oh, this was on my hard drive box. She found it and she had it pulled almost all the way off. I'm like, no. Then she found some kind of plastic bag with some screws in it. I'm like, that's if you see me looking down like this. I'm like, what the heck is she gonna grab next?
Furry kids, man. Furry kids.
Oh yeah, I love her. She's my daughter rescued her, and a week after she rescued her, my daughter was going on vacation. So she's like, "Dad, can you watch Clementine?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll watch Clementine." And her nickname is the little black girl, right? She's a devil, honestly, but she just loves this room because this is my daughter's old room, and she'll stay up here for hours by herself. She won't destroy nothing. She won't even go on my computers. She won't go on my controller, which I do have a deck saver on it, but doesn't bother nothing. I'm like, curls up in my chair. I come up, I give her some trees. I go back downstairs. I come up 3 hours later. She's still sleeping on the chair. I'm like, okay. Dwayne, take it away, sir.
All right. So here's the next section of our show. It's the shout out section. And we have a new member this week. Actually, he's not really new, but it's Sean from the DJ Biz School, DJ Night Owl. He's a new member in our Facebook group, the Cue It Up Facebook group.
Hey, Sean. Thank you.
And if you haven't joined our group yet, here's the URL for our group. If you don't want to type that long URL code out, you can just go into the Facebook search browser and type in Cue It Up. You can join the private group or the public group. I gotta figure out what should I put in the private group, buddy, because I know some of the stuff I put in the public group, being that you all are seasoned, you all got all the knowledge. What kind of stuff should I put in? Because I don't want to put the same stuff that's
You want to
meaningful.
put a teaser in the public group, like now. If you want to see the rest of the video, you have to join our private group. You know, like talking about how you were talking about your mixer or your controller. Just like all stuff that you could, how can I say, like it's a teaser of what happened. Okay, you're DJing somewhere and the power went out. You know, and it took me some time, and then say, okay, if you want to see the rest of the video, please join our private group. Then this way they can see the whole video. And you say the power came back on, man. We were cranking up the rest of the night. That's it. You know, I mean, it's just you want to reel them in to join the private group. You know, we're not charging up for the private group. It's just a private group, correct?
Only reason there's two. I just wanted to do a poll, and I couldn't do a poll without having a group. And initially, I wanted to do it a private group, but then it was something I couldn't do. It was something I couldn't do without it being public, and so I couldn't. Since people had joined the private, I didn't want to just delete, so I just kept both of them.
Well, another thing is you could say, like, not a poll, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, we need your suggestion on these type of events. What would you do? Can you help us out? And can you please leave your suggestion? But you have to join the private group to leave your suggestions. You know, so this way it's not a public thing. It's just a private. It's only in that select few people that are in there. It's something like, say, like Jesus, bad DJ setups. I mean, how they crucify some people, and then they praise some people, and then, you know, it's just some stuff should be private, and then some stuff should be public.
Well, if you put something in a public area, and someone says something that, okay, they can say whatever they want to say. You're putting it in a public area.
Yeah.
If you want it in a private area, you keep it private. If you want people to compliment, you're going to take good with the bad, and that's the thing.
Exactly.
Anything you put out there in public, I think, you know, like how I have our group, the DJ Roundtable Helpers. It is a private group. I post stuff in there. You know, I try to put, you know, last time I put a poll up there, would you do this event, yes or no? And I like that because the fact that people who are, I can make sure there are DJs in there, not some random person walking by who has no idea what the DJ world's like.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, hey, you know, that'd be a great thing. I would take that money and run. And they have no idea the work behind it. So I'd much rather just deal with the group, like for that, and talk to my peers, talk to other DJs, talk to other people. And again, the people who are not a DJ, have no idea, never done a gig, never done anything. It's not that we're hiding secrets, it's that they can't relate to it. It would be just like a group of plumbers or electricians or mechanics, you know. Yeah, I do know stuff about diesels and stuff like that. I can relate to a lot of it, but can I sit there and relate how hard it is to remove a water pump off a cat motor on a older Peterbilt 379? No, I never done that, so I can't relate to it. Versus some guy who slings, you know, iron all day long, and works on it and does that. I can't relate to that because I haven't done that. Do I understand some of the stuff? Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff. Plus, again, I've worked on stuff. I've wrenched on stuff. I understand diesel motors. I understand a lot of the work in it. But can I exactly, come to it? No. So I would say just, you know, again, if you have a group of people, just work with that group of people. Again, there are other people who are there. If people want to join the group, it's the same thing I do. I just look at, are you a DJ? Okay, hey, yeah, come join the group.
Yeah.
You're not a DJ? Why do you want to join a DJ group for?
Yeah.
We're not hiding any secrets. It's like, what do you want? Is there something you're looking for, or there's a question you have? And again, it's one of the things that I want people to relate to. It. Someone is curious and wants to learn more. Hey, no problem. Again, there's no secrets. There's no secret sauce. There's no magic. There's no hidden things or secret handshakes. It's basically people sharing knowledge, and that to me is the biggest thing, is sharing knowledge of that. But having a group like I'm in a Chicago thin crust pizza group. I'm in an Italian beef group. Someone who's not from Chicago doesn't know what Italian beef is, or how our thin crust pizza is. Everybody thinks it's all deep dish, and that they don't understand thin, crispy squares of pizza that's delicious versus a triangle. It's like it's again, they can't relate to Chicago pizza because they haven't had thin crust in Chicago, and they look at everything as deep dish. It's not. And that's the thing, is that someone from outside the area, they can't relate or understand certain things. Like when I say pop and French room and stuff like that, Chicago things, you guys are like, what? Everybody's like, what?
I say pop a lot because, well, again, with my mom with dementia, she was so used to, like, when she was a little girl, my grandma would say pop, that the pop, the soda pop guys come around to deliver the pop, so they would get the empty cases because they all had returnable bottles. So they got all the pop bottles together so the gentleman could take them and get a whole new case of soda. And today you say pop and people look at you like, the heck are you talking about? But today's world is so much different than 20 years ago. It's just everything's just speed. I going back on something about DJing now. I talked to a lady who's inquiring about a wedding next year, and she wanted to know. Now that this struck me funny. First of all, she wanted to know if I was insured. I said yes, I am insured. And where did I get my diploma from for DJ? I said, excuse me? She goes, yeah, she's the venue we were talking to said, make sure you get a DJ that has not just their insurance, but they have a diploma for DJ. She goes, what college did you go to, Mike? I said, I went to LCC for graphic communications and commercial art back in the early 80s. And I said, but I don't know who gave you this advice, but there is no college degree to be a DJ unless you want to be a radio DJ. That's something different. You're a communications major then. She goes, really? I'm like, yeah. I said, you have to have it. Well, not all DJs have insurance, but you're better off having it. But she was shocked to find this out. Like, this venue more or less told her you have to have a license, not a license, a DJ that has their degree in DJing. I'm like, no. So I know there's a couple radio DJs from our area that do weddings and stuff like that. So I looked at the venue and I looked at a couple of their friends, and the one guy I know very well, and it's funny, he graduated 4 years ago, 4 years before me from Hoban, and he has himself up here on a pedestal, and all the rest of us are down here because he's a radio DJ, and he's this, that, that. I'm like, dude, get over yourself. You went to school, got a communication major, you lucked out, you got a job at a local radio DJ, local radio station, and you've been a DJ there for your entire life after you got out of college. You haven't pursued to go anywhere else. So she's like, oh my gosh, she was Mike, thank you for telling me about this. And I gave her some other pointers, like, wow, she goes, I've learned more from you than I did from that venue. She goes, I think that venue was lying to me. I said, I don't want to say yes or no, but definitely on the
I definitely think, Mike, that you steered her the right course.
oh
So,
yeah.
Dwayne, you said you're wrapping this up then?
Yep, I was trying to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's just determined we're going to try to hit
No,
that
no,
3 hour
I'm,
mark.
I'm good, but I mean, it's funny how some people lie to other people just to try to attract them in, and then I try to attract them to the DJ that they prefer to have at their venue.
And again, they're trying to sell themselves, and again, you should sometimes don't sell yourself. Sometimes sell how you can be different, make their event special.
And that's what I told her. I told her exactly what I do, and she was surprised. She was very,
There,
very
there you go. So, Dwayne, you want to go through the shows, all the different shows up
Yep.
for the week?
All right. Also, you can follow me and DJ Mikey Mike. You can follow DJ Mikey Mike at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram. And you can find me at HitmanDDub on all my socials. And then we have a group called the DJ Collective Network Primetime Group, where it's one culture and many voices. Welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we got the knowledge, stories, and inspiration to help you level up. And as a disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed during the DJ Collective Network primetime shows are those of the individual hosts and guests of that show. They do not necessarily reflect the views or official stance of the different shows of the Collective Network as a whole, its affiliate, or production partners. Viewers and listeners' discretion advised. Even though lately I haven't heard anything disparaging, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yes.
Starting out on Mondays.
That thing on the DJ round table.
Oh, nope. On Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. For every DJ chasing dreams, no matter of the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing. Then on Tuesdays, we have our friend Buddy Show at 9 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. You can join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. The DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions. Real DJs, real stories, real lessons, all at the round table. And then if you don't catch us live or catch his show live on Twitch, you can catch it on YouTube at TBM Productions DJ 1 at 1 o'clock on Mondays. And then on Wednesdays, we have our new Facebook member. It's Sean, DJ Night Owl. And on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. on YouTube, you can catch the DJ Biz School with Sean. It's not just about spinning tracks, it's about spinning success. Learn the business side of DJing, branding, marketing, CEO, and strategy. And then on Thursdays, you have the cueitup DJ podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. It's the cueitup DJ podcast with me, the HitmanDDub, and DJ Mikey Mike. It's not just talk, it's real tools for real DJs of all skill levels. And then next week, we got a special show. We got our friends, Diego and Shay, who also had a podcast at the same time. And if you notice, when you come in, you see our numbers go up and down. We have people jumping shows between the 9 and 10 o'clock show. And their podcast is called Start to Spin. And next week, you don't have to jump from show to show, because we'll be doing a show together, collabing. So hopefully we'll be able to, we're going to do 2 shows. One on our show and then one on theirs, and then hopefully we'll be able to do something where we can do it at the same time. Do one of those WWE, WCW Monday Night War kind of doohickeys. And then
Chicago Fire PV crossovers.
Mm-hmm. I got to come up. They want to do the DC crossover, so I got to come up with a cool DC kind of thing for them.
The Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Mm-hmm. And then our buddy Kevin, that's normally in the chat, he DJs. Well, he KJs. He got a karaoke event on Thursdays now, but you can find him on the KJ Chill Room with Matt and Eric, and they do a replay at 9 o'clock on YouTube at the DJ Network TV channel, but they do a live session. That's the DJ Chill, where you can jump on live with them at 7 o'clock on Mondays. And I think it's the, what is it, djntv.com
Yep.
/ yeah, KJ Chill or something like that.
Yep. And if you guys don't know, Mike and I are part of the Chill Room on Disc Jockey News as well. I usually do the Monday night show with, right now the host is Brian S. Red and Jay Brannon and John, colleague from Boston, and sometimes Mike, myself, and a few other of the Chill Room crew on Disc Jockey News. So, I'm on a few shows. I'm like everywhere.
So when is that exactly, the Chill Room?
The Chill Room, they are in there. The Chill Room on Monday nights is the Chill Room, and we hang out, and then we record the show, and then they put it up on Disc Jockey News. And Mr. Young has tons of shows on Disc Jockey News. It's not just the Chill Room. He has tons. That's a whole network. It's like saying NBC, ABC, or CBS, or you can say any network you want to, or like saying it's the Netflix for DJs. They have so many different shows going on there, and so much stuff. You can go on to it anytime, and you can watch. And again, you can watch episodes. I'm on there, but a lot of great voices on there, a lot of great knowledge, and it's one of the things that being on those shows, it's always an honor and privilege to join all these shows. And your show, as well as Disc Jockey News, as well as every other show that I'm on, even a show I was just on a little before I came over here with Shay and his co-partner Diego. It's just great. It's great having that and having that friendship, and I'm glad to have friends like that. And I can't thank you and everyone else for allowing me to talk.
Yep.
Buddy, it's not worth allowing you. We love to have you here all the time, man. You're a great guy. And the knowledge. The thing is the knowledge and willing to share with people that
I don't know everything. I just try to tell people this is what I've run into. So
the thing is, none of us know everything, but we got one guy that all of us probably could rely on, and you know who that is, Brian S. Red. And if he don't know the answer, I'm sure
between him and Jay, yeah. Between him, Jay, and John, the three of them, especially music knowledge. If you guys want music knowledge, again, I have some music knowledge. You want in-depth music knowledge, go to Disc Jockey News, watch the Tuesday night show that they record on Tuesday nights for music. You want to go deep dives and have a lot of music knowledge and some stuff in there that you may not know it's there. The Tuesday night show they recorded on Tuesday night. Great show to watch, all the back episodes. They don't go live, so they record it and then they broadcast it on Disc Jockey News. So it's not a live show. So if you chat or type anything, they're not going to answer it because it's pre-recorded. But if you watch those recordings, you can go back and watch it anytime you want to. On Saturday, going to a gig, put it on, listen to it, and have it play in the background. Great thing to have.
And the last one from our new friend from a couple of weeks ago, DJ Reese. If you're a DJ who's hungry to grow, ready to transition, or just looking for a community that gets it, check out this podcast. It's the Recreate the Vibes podcast, hosted by DJ Reese. DJ Reese discusses the mindset, the hustle, and the strategy it takes to succeed in this DJ game. And now he's dropping gems to help you do the same on the We Create the Vibes podcast. And so I was on there last week. Mikey Mike couldn't make it, but that should be dropping pretty soon. So he's starting to do his podcast again. So you can check his out on his YouTube channel. And then before we head on out, the fade out message is, don't underestimate small gigs. This is where your name starts to carry weight. So just because you think it's small or irrelevant, you never know who is watching, because that could be your next potential gig. That could be your next big gig. So you need to treat everything professionally, no matter how big or small you think it is. All right, you all have any other things you all want to say before we head on out?
Don't drink and drive.
Nope. And thank everybody for stopping by. And again, if you have any questions, please, my cell phone number is on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. Instant message us. We don't have the answer, we'll get you the answer. That's what we're here for, to share our knowledge and get you going.
Mm-hmm. And it's not about just drinking and driving. Like people like me, make sure you get enough rest, because falling asleep is just as bad. Because I can't believe I mean, I blacked out, and my car, I felt the car just, man, that
Thank
was like,
God,
that was
you
messed
had an
up.
angel on your side.
Uh-huh. I need one of those Teslas, self-driving cars.
But there's actually a video. I'll leave you on this one. There's a video not too long ago. A guy sleep driving in a Tesla on 94 in Wisconsin, just across the border.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Wisconsin State Patrol now, and he's an Illinois guy. So Wisconsin State Patrol, they look for, as we're called, fibs. I'm not going to tell you what the acronym means because there's bad words in it. But they always look for Illinois plates, and they sit right there at the border. There's a road maintenance facility, and you as soon as you cross the border, it goes from Illinois State Police to Wisconsin State Patrol, and they sit there and they look for Illinois plates. And this guy was flying, and it was the Sheriff's Department and the Wisconsin State Patrol. They have boxed in and stop him, and he was charged with a bunch of charges. It's up on YouTube, and you can go looking for it and put in, type in Tesla driver sleep in Wisconsin, and it should come up. And yeah, that guy got himself in a lot of trouble.
Have either one of you ever been in a Tesla?
Mm-mm.
The sports style Tesla?
Nope.
Vlad, yes.
I tell you, they are amazing. Like, it's like 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye. It's like, oh Jesus, like I'm so used to a gas power motor, and it just, you're there. I'm like, oh my God, this is unreal, but you see, instead of the fuel gauge, the electronic gauge is going down,
Mm-hmm.
But they're amazing cars. But hey, what do we say?
All right.
Good night.
Yep. And don't forget, next week we'll be again doing a collab with the Start to Spin podcast at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. So remember, before it's time to spin, you gotta first cue it up. Everyone have a great week. Make sure you check out all of our shows, and remember to go out there and crush those gigs. All right, take care, everyone.
Later.
I'm a rise like the sun while the world still sleeps. Scouring the sights looking for new leads. Marathon gigs with no in between. Your worth is from a rear view they seen. They wanna party, but I'm battling fatigue, chasing passion while my mental is still out on leave. It's an everyday hustle, so respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Cue up the pressure. games in the booth where the DJs dwell. Clubbing is a struggle like it's all I've got. Set it up, break it down, travel to the next spot. Ambitions, the engine stay sharp like a tool. Revving through my gigs, power drinks is fuel. It's an everyday hustle, we respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Pressure, cue up the pressure. Cue up the pressure.